doing?
All right.
Hiya, Bill.
Hey, George. um, so, I want to talk about what I'm expecting from the future of Criterion or just Godzilla movies in general. Specifically, Criterion though is well, we know that they own the rights to, say, War of the Gargantuans and Rodan. We've known that from that 2017 post that was talking about. But it's obviously not included in this because it's not Godzilla. It's so I'm expecting at some point in time those will probably be released on their own individual Blu-ray sets too.
By Criterion, right?
By Criterion, yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking that'd be kind of cool. I never even watched the original Rodan. I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
Yeah, it's not Godzilla.
No.
I'll watch it.
Did you know there's 2 Rodans?
Radon?
No,
What you talking about?
no.
From
There's like
Godzilla 2?
No, there's like 2 different. I think in the original Rodan, there's like 2 different Rodan creatures, not just one.
Oh no.
There's Rodans in that movie.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
didn't know
I
that.
think it's
now we're gonna have to watch it. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Now we're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, and War of the Gargantuans is kind of like a follow up to Frankenstein Conquers the World. You ever see that one?
No.
All right. Well,
I haven't seen any of the.
We gotta have a
Gargantuan
movie
ones.
night. All right.
We do.
I did see that one. I remember seeing that on the Sci-Fi Channel years ago. But anyway, the biggest thing I want to talk about is I mentioned that Kraken has 3 releases. I lied because I'm making a point here. So they also, the latest one they released was Godzilla 1984, and this is the Japanese cut of the movie, not the American version that we had with actor Raymond Burr in it in Godzilla 1985. Same movie, different scenes. So we got the Japanese cut, which is awesome because that was the first time that's ever been released over here. So props to Kraken. But what I'm getting at is that when Kraken lost the rights to these 3, I'm willing to bet that they lost the rights to 1984 as well.
Probably.
Meaning, it's obviously not in the Criterion Showa collection because this movie is the beginning of the Heisei collection. So I'm willing to bet this is probably the next Godzilla movie that they'll release.
Maybe.
Because I'm sure they probably have this one, because if Kraken only had these 4 and they grabbed 3 of them, what's stopping them from getting the 4th one? I don't know why they lost it. I don't know if their contract just expired with it, or I don't know.
Usually contracts just expire with those kind of things.
Yeah, so I'm sure Kraken probably just grabbed what they could.
Yeah.
Another one is Godzilla vs. Biollante. That was another kind of oddball one.
That one's never been released on Blu-ray, has it?
It is released on Blu-ray. It was released by Miramax. And that's another
right.
company that's like, I think it's...
I think
like they're in
Miramax
and
is
out
owned by
with it.
Disney, right?
I have no idea, but they released it like I think twice within like 2 years. I think it was by Miramax. One of them was definitely by Miramax. Another one was, I don't know who it was owned by, but it was released like I think in 2012 and then again in 2013. It was pulled from shelves multiple times. Now it's out of print again. So I'm not sure who owns it right now.
Yeah.
But it's not owned by Sony, so I'm willing to bet that probably Criterion would probably grab that one too. So they'd have all the Showa era, and then the first 2 of the Heisei, and then Sony the rest.
Yeah.
So the Godzilla series isn't owned by like everyone now. It's like owned by like 2 big companies, Sony and Criterion. So hopefully, with any luck, we'll probably get for the first time along with the Return of Godzilla 1984. The American version along with it.
Revenge of Godzilla 1984.
Yeah, so they have...
Curse of Godzilla 1984.
All right, top 3 Godzilla movies, go.
Top 3?
Off the top of your head, no particular order.
No particular... Okay, well, if it's no particular order...
All right, particular order.
Okay,
it
is
seems
it
easy
particular
now.
order?
All right.
That's really tough because there's so many of them. I know versus King Kong is probably one of my favorites. I like Destroya. What was the 1992 one?
Mechagodzilla 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one.
That's one of my top favorites. I always love the Mechagodzilla ones, and that's kind of like... I wish I could just kind of like take Mechagodzilla as its own one place with all the movies and just in one position.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cheating, but all the ones with Mechagodzilla are great.
Okay. Honestly, if I were to rank them again, I haven't seen most of them like complete in such a long time, and I've never like sat down and watched all of them like in a marathon.
Yeah.
So if I were to like rank them again, I'd have to like sit down and like watch them all again to be really, really accurate. But that's generally. The ones I remember the most from what I've seen.
Okay. I'd definitely go, like you said, King Kong versus Godzilla would be in there.
Yeah.
Versus King Ghidorah is one of my top favorites too.
Which one is the one where Mothra is like spraying all over like the buildings and
could be anything.
It's in the buildings though. I think it might be Destroya or it's one of those ones.
Destroya.
Oh, she's not?
No.
Okay, so it's the...
Is it a Millennium series?
Yeah.
I think it's Tokyo SOS.
Might be.
I think that's the one you're talking about.
I think it was earlier. I think it was 90s, though. Might have been Godzilla
It could have been 92. Was Batra in it? It could have been the Battle for Earth.
I think it was Battle for Earth. Okay, I think that could have been that one.
Yeah, okay. That came out.
That one's also really good, too.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I also share the same opinion with you about Mechagodzilla 2, but you already said that. You also said King Kong versus Godzilla, so I'm going to try 3 different ones.
Okay. You don't like Destroya very much?
No, it's not one of my favorites.
Really?
For some reason, it's a fan favorite. It's not my favorite. I think the plot is kind of... I get Godzilla's nuclear meltdown thing, but I don't understand like how Destroya comes to be. I'm not really sure. It's too complicated.
The monster's good, and I like the whole finality and like the somber tone about it. Matches the original.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, most of the '90s ones are like my favorites.
Yeah. Heisei is definitely my favorite series.
Yeah.
So I'd say King Ghidorah, 91, and
that one.
I think it's 91. 74 Mechagodzilla, and all right, I'll go with Against Mechagodzilla from the Millennium series.
Okay.
So.
Right. Most of the Millennium series is kind of take it or leave it, I think. Like the last
I
two.
don't enjoy Final Wars, actually.
Yeah,
it
I was
looks
gonna say
too much like a Matrix movie to me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like that one is very like, what am I even watching?
I know. I remember me and Johnny had this Godzilla movie marathon. We watched like one Godzilla movie in the month of February. I don't know what year, but one Godzilla movie a night for the whole month.
Mm-hmm. And by the end, you were just like...
by the end, whenever we were watching Final Wars, I actually forgot what movie we were watching.
Yeah.
Because it takes away from the monster action so much, and it focuses so much on the human characters. It's like, oh... It's just like... It's so much action, which is good, which you can kind of take it or leave it, but I could leave it because there's just too much of it, and I forgot what I was watching, and I was like, wow, that's not good.
I like the focus on Godzilla in the later Showa series, like, because he's so much of a, I think it wasn't...
Defender?
Yeah, he's much more of a defender, so he's like in front of the camera a lot more. So he's not like hidden. They're not like, ooh, where's Godzilla? He's always there. He's always fighting, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, I mean, you come to sit down and watch a Godzilla movie, and it's like, it's entertainment the whole way through. Even the human character stories don't really bore me. Like,
yeah,
at least with some of them. In the Heisei series.
In the Heisei,
yeah.
I was gonna say in the Showa series they can get kind of draggy.
Like goofy and weird.
Well, they drag the human scenes.
Yeah, like I actually like some of the a lot of the human subplots and stuff. Like don't enjoy them, but don't hate them. You know, I went there for a Godzilla movie, but I don't mind the human.
Which one is the movie where the woman sings for like 4 solid minutes to the
Mechagodzilla, 1974.
Oh, yeah. You love that one.
I love that one. I love that song too. It's so terrible.
She sings for a solid 4 minutes, and everyone else is just staring off into space, like waiting for her to stop singing.
I know. As soon as you think she's gonna stop, it starts up again.
It's one of those songs.
King Caesar is like one of the coolest monsters, though.
Yeah,
I think he's like
good.
He was only in one, and he had King Kong's roar.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yeah, they were reusing a lot of assets back then. They were made on a very small budget, and they were coming out every single year in the 70s. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Didn't they use a soundbite from in King Kong versus Godzilla? Didn't they take a Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
They used the Creature from the Black Lagoon music cues in King Kong versus Godzilla.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon music has been used in a ton of movies because for some reason or another it was like, I don't want to say it's necessarily public domain, but I think it was just reused in a ton of movies in the 60s and 70s for some reason. It might have been in the public domain or something because
it was a 54 movie.
Yeah.
It was like big with like aliens and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
so
that
there's a ton
era.
of later Universal alien movies that used Creature from the Black Lagoon soundtrack, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Dracula versus Frankenstein from '71, I want to say,
Oh,
reused
geez.
that too.
Really?
I think.
You know, I'm wondering if that's going to be cut from the Japanese edit of King Kong vs. Godzilla, because that's
Maybe.
Universal.
One can only tell.
So
One
I'm
we just have to
wondering-
wait.
That was a big, because they use that cue a lot throughout that movie.
Yeah.
You know, the part where it goes, "Tin, tin, tin!"
And that was used like 50 times in Creature from the Black Lagoon itself.
Yeah, I know. So it's... What'd you think of King of the Monsters?
King of the Monsters.
The new one.
Oh, I fell asleep. Most of the
Did you? I was right
did.
there.
I know. Well, the night before I didn't get any sleep, so I legitimately fell asleep in the theater for an undetermined amount of time. I was awake at some point, and then when I woke up, they were underwater in a submarine.
Oh, that was such a good movie. I actually
It
had
was not.
I know. I love that movie. I had such not low expectations, but not high expectations. It was more low than high actually, because I disliked 2014's Godzilla.
I
Because
did too.
It did the whole hide him the whole time. As soon as he shows up, like an hour in, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't do that at all in this one. You know?
No.
And
The Godzilla is much more better represented in this film, and you see him a lot more. And the fight at the end is great.
yeah,
All that action is great.
King
but it's-
Ghidorah looked
the
amazing
human carriers
in
are
it.
so boring.
Yeah.
You're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for him and praying and begging for Godzilla to show up.
You know, again, the human characters didn't bother me in this one, as they did in 2014. I
don't
hated
know.
the human character
I
story
was just
in
so
2014.
tired. I think at that point I was just like, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, what I want to see is just a super cut of all the Godzilla movies, just without any human characters. Just like a 2 or 3 hour long. It probably won't even be that long, because Godzilla is only in like 5 minutes of every movie. So
you basically just like a Final Wars kind of cut where it just goes to each battle.
yeah, I'd watch that.
All right.
Make it a drinking game. Every time you hear Godzilla roar, have a sip.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be drunk in 5 minutes.
That's one of my favorite things about like when going to see a Godzilla movie, like I was saying before, it's like you just want to sit down and just enjoy monster action. It's like at the beginning of Against
it was like
Mechagodzilla.
2 hours long though. Like they could have gutted like an entire half hour out of the movie and no one would have noticed or cared.
Yeah. Well, I think they cut out like another half hour, 40 minutes of it.
That's insane.
Yeah, which probably was mainly human characters. So
Movies today are so long. Like I do not like long movies. I like Frankenstein movies and like the classic Universal movies because they're all under 1 hour 20 minutes, except for Son of Frankenstein, which is ludicrously long for some reason.
an hour and a half.
It's like hour and 40, I think.
Hour 37.
Okay. I was still closer with hour 40.
I think it's hour 37. I think I remember seeing it because it is the longest one.
It is the longest
of the Universal
one.
monster
And they
movies.
could cut out a good bit of that and it would be fine. But like to get a point across and to get it across well, you only need about an hour, maybe hour 15, hour 20.
Mm-hmm.
Because any more than that, you're just kind of dragging your feet in the mud, unless you're doing something like an Avengers movie where there's just so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And even those, I think, it drags in parts. You know, and especially with Godzilla movies.
Some of the Avengers movies do drag.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
Age of Ultron, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. But especially with Godzilla movies, especially because it's made for a Japanese audience and it's just translated for an American audience, a lot of that isn't going to make it over the sea well.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that is just like we don't care, we don't know, or we're just waiting for God. We watch Godzilla for Godzilla, not for like parental or like parents fighting with their children or whatever's going on in each of the Godzilla movies, or like scientists BSing about something that we don't care about until we see it. Like they said the sensibilities in American entertainment are different than they are in Japanese.
Yeah.
In Japan rather. So that's why I like the Heisei series the best, because they balance that out a lot better.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more effects going on. The plots are more out there and less like just watching people talk in a room.
Yeah, there's multiple battles.
Yeah,
in them, too.
exactly.
That's
Like
kinda
there's
what
always
it's
like things to
throughout,
be waiting for. Every about 10-15 minutes you'll have like a nice, really awesome fight scene in those movies.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're waiting a half hour for Godzilla to show up and then you only see like his foot and then like another half hour goes by.
That's so accurate with 2014.
I know.
You see his foot. And even when I saw his foot, I was like, that looks like an elephant foot.
Yeah.
And then it cut away for another 15, 20 minutes, half hour maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, by the time now I know he looks like he has an elephant foot. I don't know if
He's
I
got
want to see
elephantitis
it.
in his feet.
Got the elephant man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Godzilla 2014 is probably the lamest attempt at Godzilla.
I do not like it. Well, I mean, unless you're counting 98. But at least 98 was a more entertaining Godzilla movie.
I think I saw 98 once when I was like 4, so
Yeah.
I don't remember
It's not a
it
good
all.
Godzilla movie, but just like, what were we talking before? Halloween 3, if you look at it just for its own movie and don't connect it to like the Godzilla series, it's an entertaining movie. It's a monster movie. It is entertaining, but just don't call it Godzilla.
Okay.
It's not Godzilla.
Here's a good exercise for you then. What would you retitle Godzilla, the American 98 Godzilla? What would you retitle that as?
I don't know. Escape from SeaWorld. Escape from SeaWorld. No.
I don't know. Attack of the 50-foot dinosaur. I don't know. You could have called it something
You
else.
could have
Like,
called it anything, yeah.
because like
We
Master,
just can't think of anything.
Yeah, we
Because
can't
we're
think of
stuck on
anything.
it trying to be Godzilla. It's not Godzilla.
yeah,
Monsters from the Deep.
Monsters from the Deep.
Sounds like a 60s sci-fi movie. But
Yeah, if
it's
they
just-
would have
I don't
called it
know
like
anything.
Attack of the a creature attacks New York or Attack of the
That's
Creature.
the name of the movie. A Creature Attacks New York.
You'd watch that.
Totally watch that.
My point exactly.
Yeah, so you don't have to call it Godzilla. It's like that's
Yeah.
He didn't breathe fire.
Yeah.
He
looked like a
He was
T-Rex
killed by
from-
the military.
Yeah, he looked like a T-Rex from Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, and that's actually what it was stealing from too, because the year
Yeah.
before was The Lost World with
Yeah.
all the raptors and stuff, and that's what the baby Godzillas were. It's just a ripoff of the raptors.
You know what? A thought just crossed my mind. What if they were working on that 98 Godzilla movie for a while, and then like the producers and like the director went to see that movie in theaters, and they're like, crap.
You know, actually, the director admitted afterwards that he's not a big Godzilla fan. So
Oh, wow.
therefore,
There you go.
the passion did not go into it.
Yeah.
You know, he said like, I never was a fan of the Godzilla movies. Well, there's a problem right there. You're trying to make an action movie.
Yeah.
You know, you're not making a Godzilla movie.
That's completely accurate. I mean, like the same thing happened with Freddy versus Jason. Like I think it was his name Ronnie Wu or something. He had never seen any Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street movies when he directed Freddy versus Jason.
Are you serious?
That's why it's so tonally different from all the rest. Even though it's like a guilty
I think it's
pleasure.
a great movie.
I know.
I
got it a lot
never would have
better.
known, because you still got Robert Englund. You have like the look and everything, right? The
Yeah.
atmosphere, I guess.
It's definitely a guilty pleasure movie. It's not a good movie, but it's
the
one of
teenagers
those
you don't care about.
Yeah. The passion has to be in the directing. And if you don't like what you're trying to do, then you're not going to do it right. There's no way you're going to do it right. A better way, like even Ronnie Wu or you, I'm terrible for not remembering that. But
I don't know.
but he didn't say he wasn't a fan. He had just never seen them before. So that's still
like a strike.
Yeah. But like I like trash films, so I like it. It's a guilty pleasure.